Hello and welcome everybody. We are back. My name is Lucas. This is Lucas G Variety, and this is the Band of Blades actual play. This is going to be episode number 13, if I got it right. Yep, episode number 13, Aftermath. Today is December the 9th, 2021. Merry almost Christmas to you, and a happy almost New Year. So we are back to get started. I'll do a little bit of an intro here. We broke the game a little bit last time, and that's entirely my fault. After the quick Halloween special, they came back to camp, and before the primary and I think secondary teams were the primary team had returned. Before the secondary team returned, the camp was attacked by Blighter herself, one of the Broken, and some of her troops. She does have humans that follow her, but none of them really attacked the camp. She brought in Whaler, one of her infamous, and he set about trying to lay some waste, but our brave Legionnaires rose to the challenge, and the characters that Mike and User played, Haruka Junko and User played, fought alongside Shreya the Chosen, and she drove Blighter back. Shreya and Blighter, who, when they were human, and when they were both chosen still, were together as an item, the thing that bards write about and sing about and all that good stuff, right? Only that when Blighter was broken, the heartbreak heard round the world. So there was a reunion of sorts, not in the way one might expect. I'm trying to make sure I got my thing right here. Infamous, the Whaler, yes. So Whaler comes in, and we got Dom and Soundwave's Ghost with their characters who attacked and defeated Whaler. There's some details back and forth here. It involved using a catapult to smash Whaler in the face, who's a big, gigantic horror, which is a whole bunch of bodies stitched together to make an even more grotesque, bigger body. I don't know if I can get that on camera right. You know what? Get the book and look it up. It's fine. Or just Google it. Anyway, so there was that. There was some arms getting broken. There was the officer, Joster, taking the trauma because he was jumping in to save the day. You guys can jump in with detail if you want. Don't let me just ruin it here. And then, of course, on the other side, so Whaler falls dead, which is great. All the rest of the Legionnaires in the background are fighting the regular line troops. And then we have Shreya standing off with a couple of other people that she told no one get involved with me, but they did anyway. And so she fights Blighter. Blighter's quick. Shreya ends up stabbing Blighter in the chest with her long polearm, snapping off some of the blade inside her. Whereas Shreya takes damage from Blighter, who she has a couple daggers. And they're blackened blades. They're dripping with something. And she slashes Shreya up a couple times, ending up stabbing her right through the hand in the end. Shreya pulls back and actually keeps the dagger. Not doesn't mean to, but keeps it after she's been damaged as well. And then Blighter retreats in a smoke bomb. I think she does something like that. And you guys finish off the rest of the few line troops. Lots of undead laying around. Lots of destruction. A lot of things destroyed, a lot of things broken. And as you're recovering, everybody's getting their breath, everybody's checking on the civvies as well as each other. This is kind of where we pick up. The fog is gone, it's clear because Shreya rode into camp like right as the battle began. She had left a few weeks ago with the ex-commander to see him east. And that's when the other spy master also left to kind of help out. So, but Shreya was back. It was a good battle. It was a good time. And this is where we are now. We are kind of in the campaign phase where we normally would be. So this is kind of happening meta-like at the same time as it's happening in real life. The camp's being picked up. Dawn is coming soon. Everybody's licking their wounds. The command staff is trying to get together at some point to be like, why did this happen? We'll get to all that in a minute. So if we pursue, let me switch to this thing here. Switch to my other map. Let's go back to the main map. Not that we need to see it right away, but on the map we're surrounded by Blighter's forces. It was only a matter of time before they found you. You're still stuck in the long road, making move next north to the Barrack Mines. Spring is almost over. Let's see if I can zoom out just a little bit. And there we go. we are still, like I said, we're in the back camp, the kind of campaign phase to kind of see what happens next. and we are at part 4, number 1. We're incurring penalties for missions not pursued. So what we're going to do is kind of a twofold thing. We're going to get rewards and penalties for both the primary and secondary mission like normal, and also from this attack that happened here. So first would be incurring penalties for missions not pursued. Actually, let's see. We did XP last time. Engagement roll, resolve secondary mission. Okay. So I'm not sure where it says we get rewards. I guess we just do them after. Am I missing the rewards part, Dan?
Not much of a cheat sheet if it cuts out the rewards.
I know, they just don't want you to have them. Gang lose supply and assets, morale, and gain points. It says mission penalties and rewards, but it just talks about the penalties. So we'll do penalties first. The third mission that you auto-failed didn't have any penalties, so nothing happens there. Yay for you guys. And that one, just to go back to it, was... And I think... Let's see. You named them, Dom. The night the sky turned red. It was the religious one where you were supposed to fight the burn guards, which are big giant creatures, just to kind of eliminate a few because they cause trouble. Think of it like a giant dog / cat that's bigger than a horse roaming around. You guys said, no, we're not going to go after them. The secondary mission was the Brothers' Dilemma, an exfiltration where you actually went and nabbed a zealous cult leader who had a lot of inside information or bad information that was spreading about Nucket and, I forgot his brother's name. Mackett and Nucket themselves. So you actually have a prisoner. And I actually wrote his name down. I finally used a name that Tice the Betrayer gave us a long time ago. So we have him under lock and key. And then the Magnus Gamble, which is the primary mission, or is a special supply rescue mission where you rescued the alchemist and brought him back. You did lose your scout along the way, which we had come back and had that funeral just before the attack on the camp. That's what led to that Halloween episode we did. So I wrote that guy's name down somewhere, but I will find it later. So here we are. I think I've recapped about as much as I should at this point. And so there are no penalties, but there is always something that happens in battle. Something always goes wrong. So I have a tough decision for you guys to make now. And this is going to be something that's made by... Oh, there we go. If anybody's taking notes, the zealous cult leader is Reginald III, Bastard of Yore. Luscious lover and cult leader, also now a prisoner. He doesn't have a last name that he gives, but his name is Reginald III. So keep that in mind for later. I just wanted to say it on camera so I could find it again later if I needed to. All right, so this decision that's coming up for you guys is something that you're going to make as a meta decision, out of character, okay? So, in the aftermath of all this, you find a lot of good stuff that's going to help you out. But before that, you had to pay the butcher's bill. So I have a decision for you, and there's a devil's bargain in there too, on top of that, if you wish. So, Commander, Marshal, Spy Master, I got 4 options. You can tell me which one it's going to be, all right? Which one you guys want to deal with. 1, Shreya, she was wounded in battle, right? But in this case, Shreya was badly wounded. So it's going to actually affect her as your... I know she's an NPC, but she is your chosen, right? Very important. That's number 1. Number 2, every single Legionnaire takes 2 corruption. And that's everyone. Rookies, specialists, soldiers, the command staff, if we ever give them character sheets, everybody gets 2 corruption. Because they were in that fog, all the undead, everyone got soaked with it a little bit, right? Number 3, the Legion has turned out to have 3 deaths. So the Marshal would pick 3 characters to have died, and you would incur the 3 morale loss on top of that. With that, not extra. So basically 3 morale loss, 3 dead soldiers. Or 4, the Legion loses 4 of supplies at random. Now, there's not 4 supply itself, but 4 of the quartermaster's supplies. Horses, black shot, whatever, which I will roll and determine at random. These are one of the things. I'll Put them in the message board. I'll let you guys talk. Tell me what you think.
So, I mean, obviously, I'm not the most experienced in the game. I haven't been here that long. I've been here the shortest amount of time. But I personally haven't seen Shreya do all that much. So, I mean, if they're wounded, is that so bad? You know, they could always heal again. You know? Because that's an option.
You muted Dom.
She's also hinted at killing quite a few of us. Maybe this will like take a little bit of steam off.
I mean, you know, maybe she has a bit of corruption herself from being stabbed with those daggers, and you know, maybe then she won't be like all corruption is evil. Maybe she'll say, some corruption, it's okay. You know, we can handle it. Just we've got to work together. Please don't kill me. You know, maybe all put some brakes on.
This is why I was the only one original cast that didn't choose this character in this chosen.
I still stand by it. I love how I love the dynamic it creates.
Yeah.
Where we kind of like need her, but we're also a little bit scared of her instead of just like being all out like, yeah, go chosen.
Yeah. The other thing is, obviously, with Shreya being so anti-corruption, I mean, we can't do the two corruption.
Yeah.
Like that's just not that's not possible. And I mean, I don't know how the quartermaster things work. I'm sure if he was here, he would be very against it. But
the problem with the supplies is where we're going, it's harder to get them.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
Run out of food.
Yeah.
It's hard to get food. Like in this case, this location we're at right now, you couldn't even go out for supplies. So if we were already out of supplies, you'd have to move on just because you couldn't get any here, period.
That's what I'm saying. So losing the 4 supplies, probably not the best idea.
Now,
I mean,
we do have the Tentari banner.
But how much do we have left on that?
3 uses, I believe. I have it in my notes, I believe. I think. Joster. Okay, it's not in Josters. Who has the Tentari banner? I wrote it down somewhere.
It's in there. Did the commander write it down? No, there's no place.
There's no note place on the
staff sheets.
Yeah.
Well, you had 5. I believe you did use 2. I feel like there was 3 left. 3 left, but we definitely need to know for sure. Because it probably would end up using the rest of it to negate that morale loss if you went with the deaths.
Yeah.
It is definitely somewhere, though. It should be somewhere.
Wait, we lost it?
I don't know where. That's the marshal.
Someone got into the stash.
Well, I would rather Shreya get wounded in battle than any of the others because that directly affects us. As long as we can let Shreya recover before the end of the game, you know, which is out of character, of course. You know, that's we need her to be there because she is a big ball of holiness. But in the meantime, we're doing all this ourselves anyway. So if she's struck down temporarily, it only makes her just another Legionnaire. You know, it's like she's just more people to drag around with us.
Could we use a mercy with her?
That seems pretty, you guys, it seems pretty unanimous then. Yeah.
I was going to say either the Shreya is badly wounded or 3 dead Legionnaires. But,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm good for either of those 2. You know, I don't mind, but preferably Shreya is badly wounded.
I am personally leaning towards Shreya simply because we're going to start hemorrhaging people soon. Because every time we lose anyone, we're not replacing them near as fast as we lost them.
No, especially since we lost those bandits, they're supposed to become brickies.
Yeah, that was a free pool that was waiting to come up for recruits that's no longer there.
That's no longer viable.
The bandits.
Yeah, because you said they all died in that confrontation, and that was like
I don't think they died.
Well, that's what you said during the.
That's what you said. Yeah, you said those 6 bandits that the Court Must was training up. You know, they died in the attack. They stood side by side and they defended each other, but they essentially all died. Is what you said. Unless you want to take that back.
I don't remember.
Be nice?
I don't remember saying like that. I thought the line.
That's a lot of work you put into those guys.
I thought the line broke that they were a part of. I don't remember saying that they were dead. I will. If I did, I apologize. That was not my intent.
I guess they're not dead then.
They are
Great news.
I don't want to say they're dead right now. Maybe I was crazy last time. I don't remember eating any weird mushrooms or smoking anything last time we played, so I'm not sure what's going on.
You were very Dr. Evil last sessions.
Hey, you guys came out smelling like a rose, whatever.
I mean, a broken, bloody rose, but a rose nonetheless.
Okay. Yeah, just wait till you see what you're about to get. You're going to be like, oh, Lucas, you the man. And I'm like, I know.
You are so nice.
All right, so Shreya. Please. Shreya is badly wounded, but you're not going to notice this. We'll get into the role play of that later. All right? So that is the one. That's what I played. I feel like, Dom, right? That's your vote too?
Yeah.
Okay. So, mission rewards. You get 4. The first one, for the Mercy, you get... And let me get up Mike's sheet here. I may as well just pop this thing out so I can see it. You get +1 morale, which is good. All right. I don't know if you need any more morale right now, but you get it.
We were going to lose morale after, the mission with the death.
People died. People dead.
Oh yeah, I think you just lost the scout, right?
Yeah, we lost the scout. So we would lose 1 morale, but I guess we could just call that a wash. Yep. I don't know what the sequence is.
You would have taken it off and put it back on, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you incur penalties for missions not pursued immediately. Then it looks like all the primary mission stuff happens pretty much right when we get back. They play it out, get your experience. Then you make the engagement rolls for the secondary mission, and then you follow through with the secondary mission stuff. So we'd have already, anything on the primary mission, we'd have already kind of cycled through. I
didn't know you got... So your primary was excellent. You got +1 morale, +1 supply, which I marked. You're up at 5 supply right now. You got your alchemist, Ether Magnus, which I have put on here. No corruption. Because they get the corruption as they go. Because alchemy is corrupted.
Yep, they burn out.
And then you also got plus favor, mercy, which is Shreya's favor. So let me mark that.
That's basically XP for her, right?
Yes, you have had 1 favor with her out of 4. When she fills up a 4 o'clock, she gets to get a new ability. So I am marking a second one. You now have 2 out of 4 for her. Those are very good. If you get, and those usually come with special missions. So if the commander has intel, he can guarantee special missions and usually try to get ones with favor. She only has the 1 favor, which is mercy, so it's got to be a mercy mission. So I marked that for you. And that takes care of the primary goodies. That's a lot of stuff. And then for the second one, you guys get +1 intel. There you go, Dan, our commander. +1 intel for you. And you have an asset. You must determine what this asset is. I don't know if there's a random way of determining it or not. So let's see if we can find it. I'm sure. Assets, acquire 137. Let's jump over there real quick. The assets are definitely important. These are your mercies, your alchemists, your trebuchets, and like things. So,
bag bar is still an asset you need. Roll a location assets rating. Result indicates the quality. Labor, siege weapon, alchemical concoctions are fine. Alchemist mercenaries are exceptional quality. So it doesn't look like there's a random way to roll what you get. It was just whether or not normally it's whether or not you can get it.
So it's that you want to see what the asset rating is here.
No.
I can. And we can.
So
You want to roll it, Commander?
Sure. This would be a fortune roll.
Yep.
I'll put that at 1.
Almost there.
Just one asset rating, or what was asset rating?
Asset ratings is 0, actually.
Uh,
So roll 2 dice, please.
2 dice.
And 0 dice technically.
It's a 1 or a 1, so it's poor quality.
It was poor quality.
Yep.
All right. I think you can boost it, right?
Oh, if it was boosted, that's
Upgrade your
spending
level.
stuff to boost it.
Upgrade your result by 1 level. You may spend multiple supply for multiple levels of improvement. So you can get up to standard. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our fine quality, so they're not even going to be available. Our exceptional quality. So basically, it's going to be an asset of either black shot, food, horses, or religious supplies. Unless you want to boost it ahead of time to get it up into the next level. Now, as quartermaster, he might be willing to boost it into a standard because you just got the 1 supply. He could just spend that supply back out to make sure it's a little bit better.
Let me see here. Supply.
But I'll have you guys vote on that if that's something you want me to, if you want him to upgrade it or not. So I'd roll a random.
Just upgrading it to standard, right?
Yeah. So basically, it's going to need to be a black shot, food, horses, or religious supply. It's going to be poor quality, which means it's going to either be not a very good thing or a fewer than normal. If I get up to standard, then you'll just get it as is. It's normal. That. If you want to bump it up into the into the fine quality, you have a chance of either getting laborers, siege weapons, and alchemical concoctions.
Right.
Mm.
I mean,
But that would take 2 supply to get there.
that would take 2 supply, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not quartermaster. If only we had the quartermaster here, he'd know what to do.
I feel like Mike wouldn't have any trouble respending the 1 supply he just got in order to make it a little bit better, to make the one he did get better. But if you guys agree with that,
I think more laborers, more black shot, or more horses is always going to be much better.
Yeah,
than,
one of those 3.
So maybe boost it up 1 with the supply and get one of those 3.
well, I'm gonna roll randomly. 3 would be horses.
So another tick of horses.
Yes, at a poor quality, you get 3 uses with one of these. At a poor quality, it's only going to get you 1 use here.
All right, so I'll just return this 1 horse
to full. If you want to spend a supply, I would give you all 3 uses of horses for that.
I'll do that.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's better.
I see you checking it off there. Okay. I'll click. Okay, well, you did it. Never mind. I'm like looking about. I'm not doing this on the. Wait, who's doing this? Oh, Dan's in there. All right, Commander. I guess you are the commander. I am not anybody. All right, so
You're nobody.
Let's get to the fun stuff. You guys are all gonna be rolling some dice here, so get ready to do your /Rs. So, I have a whole treasure list of things you can get. I was thinking about posting them in the chat, but I might just tell you. Maybe I will. It's not going to come out the same in the Discord chat. That's the only thing. You get to roll 1d6 for surviving the battle. You get to roll 1d6 for defeating 2+ line troops, squads, or elites. You didn't do that part. Roll 1d6 for defeating Whaler. You did that, so you're up 2d6. Roll 2d6 for defeating Blighter. You did. So you get to roll a total of 4d6. So, that's not all at the same time. It'll be one at a time. Because then they're going to eke off another thing. So I think everybody gets to roll 1 dice, and then someone gets to roll the last dice. These are supposed to be...
Oh. Hey. Higher's better, right? Wow, Commander.
Whoop.
Not necessarily.
Hey.
Oh, no.
Yeah, someone's doing worse than me at least.
It's nothing. It's not necessarily bad. I have a bunch of stuff spaced out. All right.
So I need 1 more. Or no?
Not.
And let me redeem myself, please. Let me
Oh,
see
sure.
if my luck is bad.
Oh, it's roll 20. It hates us all.
Please, I'm begging you, man. Come on, let me do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Send it.
Couldn't be worse than what you already
Hey,
rolled.
I've been redeemed.
There's
So-
no way you can go -1.
Let's go with
No way you
Dom.
go lower than 1.
Let's go with Dom first. So we're looking at the time area. All right, so now roll. Now we're gonna roll D3s. These are the rewards. This is the good stuff. You can't roll bad. So,
Right. D3.
yep.
What does D3 look like? Is a D3 possible in like a?
D3. It's a D6 cut in half.
It would be like a tube. So you just roll it, and it would just click, 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 with like a triangular tube.
All
You
right.
rolled a 2.
Congratulations. You get -2 time.
No.
Doing this really kicks Blighter's butt, and it's going to slow down
That's
her
good.
advance, which is going to take 2 off the time clock.
Already removed.
Yeah. So that means Spring is going to go down and have 3 ticks left on it. Am we correct?
I literally kicked him into last year.
Yep. We somehow went back in time. It's probably kind of dumb, but you know what? Whatever.
Turn back time.
That might just save you from having. So, Spring holds on a little bit longer, and the undead quit advancing as fast as they do, as it's all tied together. Dom, that was pretty good, actually.
I kicked the groundhog back down the hole or something.
You
That's right.
did. Commander, you rolled a 3, which is the morale area. So go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and roll a D3. You might not need this morale, but
2.
you will get +2 morale. Not everything will be as useful as others. I think you're already maxed out, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
That's better than being below 0.
You know, the thing is, though, after this attack, people were going to be grumbling. I was going to start making some things about, the leadership and about getting attacked. And, the dissent might start forming in the camp from other Legionnaires and other people. But I'll say, because of this, there was such a victory kicking Blader in the teeth that even though there was a little bit of loss of stuff, people are relatively happy, even though you were attacked in camp, right?
Relatively might not even be the right word. We've never been happier.
Okay, everyone's so glad to be in the
We
middle of a war
won!
with the undead.
We won.
We win everything.
Wow!
They stepped directly to our doorstep and we kicked them back out said door.
That's right.
Wait, who's retreating?
That's right.
Magical pullback.
All right. User, you rolled 1. So you are in the supply category. Roll a D3.
How do I roll D3s?
Just /R 1D3 in the chat.
Okay. 3.
You saw it.
Hey.
You guys get an additional 3 supply. I will mark it. That puts
3.
That puts you at 7, which means you probably have to use some of that. +1 per
7 what?
supply cart. Yeah, you're up to 7 supply.
7
No
supply.
use, only get.
Actually, we can't hold that much.
No, you have to spend at least 2 before you leave.
Yep.
So we're getting drunk tonight, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna heal
Well,
and
we can
stress
have
up to 5.
we'll spend 1 use, lose 2, carry 6 food. That's food per supply.
You get to carry 3 supply plus 1 supply per supply cart. Mike has 2 carts for you, so you can carry
So that's
5 with you.
6.
So you have. You can take
3 plus 5. Yeah, right. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, we're
so
too
you're gonna
We'll
have to
take
spend,
+4.
you're gonna have to
but
spend
we'll
at
need
least
healing
2.
and stuff like that. So
All right, user. You next rolled what, a 5?
I did indeed.
That is the assets area. So go ahead and roll D3 again. Well, there's some other good ones that.
3.
Another 3.
You came across 1 exceptional asset.
Ooh, that's
Alchemist
like another
Formation.
alchemist. Another alchemist or mercy. Yeah, I just found. Look who I found behind this bush over here.
This would be someone that was left behind by a blighter.
Yeah, well, the blighters hadn't quite stuck him on that other thing yet, and we found him. Like, oh,
Let's-
that's
How about we leave it to chance? User, why don't you roll a D2, and we'll say rolling a 1 is an alchemist, and a 2 is a
yeah.
mercy.
Either way, no matter what, it's good for us. So,
Alchemist.
all right.
Oh my god.
Now we need a name.
Someone give me a name.
Fascius Fopwell. No, sorry, not
Ether.
fascist, but Ether.
That was the name of your other alchemist.
Ether Magnus.
That's the
I'm gonna
exact
say
name of your
Ethan.
alchemist.
Magnus Ether.
I'm going to call it Ethan with an E minus. Exact opposite.
Wait, what happened there? What happened there?
Opposites attract.
Oh, he deleted.
No, I was trying to.
Give it like a female name.
It can be a lady.
What's the female
Yeah.
version of ether?
Well, ether is a chemical, isn't it? So you find another chemical that sounds feminine.
Ethel.
Boron.
Ethel.
Thulium.
Ethanol. Ethel. I like Ethel.
Ethel minus.
Ethel minus.
You're on the wrong side. You're on the mercy side.
Yeah, he rolled mercy. You said, well, no, you said
No, I got alchemist.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm in the sheet. Hold on. I can't.
One was alchemist, two was mercy.
Okay, tell me if
That's
that's
right,
right.
that's
Is it? Can you see it in there? Is it in there?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Well,
You
that
have to
wasn't
space
bad.
them out really wide because of the circle.
That wasn't.
So what does having them be, very, very good?
Well, that's
Dude.
just what you have to do to get one.
Yeah,
Of those
they're
two guys.
considered like they're top tier.
That's the hardest stuff to
Alchemists and
get.
Mercies are. Medium tier is like horses and the other.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's quite happy from after this attack. You've
Porter's
actually.
go looking for them in the area, and it's supposed to be super hard for him just to randomly find them. That's why they're mission assets. You can get them on
Okay.
missions easier than he can find them. But he could just randomly go, I walk out and say, does anyone want to be a mercy? And someone shows up
Okay.
just because he rolled off for it.
So the fact
Yeah.
that it was of that quality means that it wasn't alchemist or mercy.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I see you. I get you. I'm learning. I'm a learner.
Cheers.
So the result of this, Blader does have humans that follow her, whether willingly or not. And so they had to bring some humans along to do some things like armor up the undead or make some of her concoctions and things like that. So naturally, as they fled, a lot of supply carts took off, but one cart was overturned. Within there, you found the 3 supply and the alchemist cowering for her life. And she's just like, Blader kept her from being corrupted from doing alchemy for her. Now that protection, of course, is gone, but she is happy, more than happy, to not be under Blader's thumb and be rescued. She's sobbing and she talks about her family loss and being forced to do this. There's a lot of stuff that happens. We can role play this if we need to, but people are generally overall excited and happy with what you've accomplished. And like I said,
Yeah,
spring.
somebody getting a medal on a podium and, a big dog creature goes, "Rrrr."
Spring's gonna hold in there a little longer as we move the clock back to, and the undead Blighter is been blighted herself and will not be actively pursuing you very hard for a little bit. So we are finally done with that part of the mission phase. See?
Oh wait, doesn't? Oh, never mind.
All right,
into the mission finally.
we did it, guys. You got some good rewards. I posted all the things that were possible underneath, and there were some other really good things you could have rolled, but what you got wasn't that bad, I don't think. The supply is always helpful. So we need to see Marshall detail secondary mission results. Surviving specialists earn 2 XP. I think you did that, or we'll give that to her donor earlier. I don't know if she leveled up or got any good things from that, but you can tell us if so. Commander, gang lose pressure, time, and intel. That's where I think that's where the rewards and the penalties are coming in, right?
Yep. Because we could have gained pressure or something like that due to mission failures and such.
Okay. Quartermaster, gang lose supply and assets. You would lose supply when you have none. Instruct the marshal to reduce morale, but that's not a problem. Marshal, gang lose morale. Earn bonus XP. Update the roster of any new deceased troops. Nothing. Just aside from the scout, nothing.
Shuffles around. Yeah.
Nothing you have to
Need
do
some
there.
shuffle.
You might have to. Might have to shuffle some people around to make the squads complete.
Yeah.
And
Nucket's obviously not a rookie anymore.
Yep.
Or a soldier.
I think I should have moved him, but if you need me to move people because they're not in the right spot, just gonna have to.
Nucket is
He's in the right
moved.
spot.
Yeah, he's the only one that actually.
All right. But if
Got to
I'm
special.
not sure if you can move character sheets between groups. If you can't, you're just gonna have to give me like a detailed, like, hey Lucas, these guys are gonna have to go here, blah blah blah. All right.
Yeah, I'll put it all in like a summary in the Discord.
Okay, I can do that later on for you. And so that is actually the end of the campaign phase. We move into the camp phase and go into the back at camp scene. For the Lord Keeper, just select it back at camp scene. Note current morale. So that comes back around to Commander / Lord Keeper. And then
yes, we are at high morale. So this is thematic. I'm going to click here for the Your Chosen has fallen silent and refuses to speak to anyone.
Oh.
I'm copping out. I found one that fits, and it's boring, but it works in this scenario.
I don't think it's boring when it fits like it does. So where does that at? Let's see. Where do you click that? Where's that at?
I already clicked it. It's low on the sheet. You have to scroll way down.
Oh, they're way down there. Okay.
Yep. So if it's you doing this, you would just do a D whatever and pick an event at random. But if someone's playing the Lord Master, they're supposed to do all of their, you fill in all these red dots first before you move to the bottom one, unless you are in that morale check.
Once all the high morale are gone, though, do you start over?
No, you go to the medium and until everything's full.
Oh wow! So
and then you reset.
Morale goes. The stories get worse no matter what.
Yep.
All right. So Your Chosen is.
One of the high morales is soldiers blowing stuff up and people egging them on. So it's like it's not really great in every place. Like supplies crates go missing as a high morale one. I thought was kind of weird. I'm thinking that'd be a low morale problem.
That works. Well, here's the thing. It works perfectly because, like I said, Shreya had to face off against her old ex-lover. And she was wounded badly from it, both physically and probably emotionally. And as soon as the battle's done, she nods affirmation to the two rookies that helped her, right? Looking back at
these rookies in town.
Yeah, who I think probably got promoted to the soldiers, I'm assuming. And then she walks away, leaving the cleanup and everything else for everybody else. She walks away, the dagger is still sticking out of her hand, and blood is just dripping down her arm, and she's got her pole arm that's broken. Like her blade is like over a foot long, right? Maybe it's like 18 inches, who knows? But there's only 2/3 of it left because she snapped it off inside the broken chest. So her weapon is broken, semi. She probably could still use it pretty well. And she has a dagger in her hand, and she looks like Zorm, who's the medic in this world. Comes out, he's like, oh, that looks quite bad. Should I repair that for you if I... And she just kind of walks past, like, he's like, perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, Shreya, would you... And someone taps him on the shoulder, he's like, I guess you don't want to speak. That's fine. You know where I'll be. Who else needs patching up? And the medic, the camp medic.
We need new medics.
The camp medic wanders off. You actually do need a medic. I told Mike, you can make your camp medic Zorm into a full-time specialist medic with a long-term project. So that's also a possibility. Otherwise, it's not easy to get a specialist.
Into it. They're not. That's the hardest specialist to get to because it requires the most dots.
Mm-hmm. I told him it'd be, I don't know if I did tell him it would be a 10 clock instead of the normal 8. And you cannot use laborers to help out. But so if you guys want to say, hey, make that on the quartermaster sheet, we want to start working towards that, we can. Got a lot of supply here. So that's kind of the scene. If anybody else wants to try to approach Shreya or add into the role play here, we can. Otherwise, well, Dan, usually you set the scene for who is part of that. I kind of took it over and I apologize. I don't know if there's anything else you want to see in this scene.
No, I mean, that was pretty much, she was just going to hobble. That was my thought too, is she's being quiet because she's just refusing to show how much weakness that she just incurred. She, gives the whole nod and good battle to the guys that helped her, but then she's immediately just like, I'll see you on the trail, and then pops into her tent. And
I don't even...
the one person that would normally be there to lick her wounds is the one who caused them this time. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She does walk back towards her tent. No one actually catches to see if she goes into it or not, because everybody's like, I'll leave her alone. But that fiery passion that she drives in everybody when she's around, especially when she's enraged, has definitely died away. Everybody's feeling kind of drained from that. You know, the adrenaline rush has worn off.
The glow is dimmed.
I think when she also has that moonlight radiance that surrounds her, I do feel that is actually dimmed. Yes, I think that's a good call. So that's all, and that usually is about the same, but that's actually decreased.
She's looking more mortal.
Maybe. Yes.
The mortality is starting to seep through the whole.
She's still 8 feet tall. That hasn't changed.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't completely turn her back without basically turning into a blighted, but she's not the divine creature she was 5 minutes before that happened.
Alrighty. That's true. Anything else? We can do. We'll do scenes when we move to the next location and everything. Unless there's scenes you want to do here. If there's any. Otherwise,
are we taking liberty because we have that surplus supply?
That would be part of
the time passes phase.
Time passes, yeah.
Which is coming up next here.
Well, no, yeah, because quartermaster would minus 1 food. If I needed to, I'd tell a legion, which I don't because we didn't lose but 1 person. The campaign action section is where the quartermaster chooses to do all that stuff.
Yeah, we
definitely need to do a legion, regardless, because we're going to get 2 free ones because of so much morale. But we're definitely got to do a liberty. Definitely need to do some R&R and possibly double R&R just to get some healing ticks on people.
Yeah.
Well, let's look. We're going to do that.
We're curing wounds faster than we're getting rid of them.
I will. I never get to play anything. I will play quartermaster unless you want to.
Back out of
unless you want to.
I want somebody else to do it because it's hard enough writing notes down and pretending to listen.
I don't get to play with the character sheets very often, so it's kind of fun. That's surprising. That's not. Oh, it popped out. Okay, so first of all, time passes. So commander, note a +1 time and +1 pressure. So where you would have actually just gone into summer right now. You do not. You still have 2 ticks on the clock of spring left. So pressure is at 1. Spring has 2 ticks left on it. So time passes. This is usually when you're traveling. I believe the choice was going to be to move on to advance, which I know is at the end. But usually the time passes here, and then you move on, set up camp, and get missions going right away. Really, it could be done in any order like that. So quartermaster, note -1 food. So I will do that. I'm going to unclick a dot. So that food store, you have 1 full food store of 5. You have 6 food stores after having 7. So everybody's well fed. Lord Keeper tells the tale of the Legion. That's I think
lose enough people.
If you lose enough
we
people.
only lost 1. Yeah, we need to lose 3 more people. If it had chose the lose 3 people option, we would have to have told a tale.
Yep, I was kind of waiting to see if that was going to be, because that would have been nice. Or not nice, but unique. But, all right, campaign actions. Here we go, guys.
Yeah.
2 free campaign actions of a morale of 8 to 10. Are we, Marshall, in that 8 to 10 range?
Yep, we're maxed.
All right. I knew it, but I wanted to ask. All right, you guys. I'm here at the meeting. How many of my supplies do you want to take now? I suppose I could let a few go.
Well, I mean, that's up to you, quartermaster. You're literally going to be sending supplies for doing extra things around camp before we move on. I definitely want to make sure our people are rested and maybe get some healing, since I know a lot of damage was dealt to and from us.
I think it would be, with some of the stuff we found on board, Blighter's thing, we can maybe crack open a couple of our casks of ale, maybe a few bottles of wine, maybe some of the good stuff. So we could do a liberty action, and if we boost it, all stress is cleared from everybody. How do you feel about that? Marshall, how do you think the stress level is amongst the troops?
All of them take differently to... I'm doing Joster now.
You're doing Joster, I was about to say that.
It's been a while.
It has been a while since I've played Rashi. But,
you got it. I know the voice.
It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I haven't rehearsed this at all, but the men, they've all taken it differently. Some are worse than others, but I still think they've earned it, if nothing else.
It's one thing they have learned is a few minutes to drink a cold one. It's the time.
Do you think I should bust?
Question is that good stuff better served dressing their wounds or dressing their spirits?
I find it's easier to make men sit still if they think the beer is involved after they're done sitting still. Perhaps a little bit of both.
All right. I'll get the really good stuff out.
We should celebrate while we still can.
Aye.
As great as this success is, it's also the worst thing that could have happened. Before, our plan to head north into the recesses of the mountains could have given us some sort of refuge. But now we've made an enemy.
We've always had them as enemies, son. It's just now
Whatever
they
will
know
we
where
do?
we are. And we bloodied them. We bloodied them right good.
But I look left and look right. Shreya's not in here, right? But you had to have seen it. To be caught between two star-crossed lovers. This is... I will reiterate, things could not have been much worse.
Aye.
We have won the day, and that is
We've
all that
won the day.
matters, friend.
Indeed. We've had several of our people climb mountains, quite almost literally, and stab them in the mouth. We should make sure they're rewarded appropriately.
Indeed.
If
I heard the old guy broke his arm firing a half-built catapult.
I mean, you know, if I may, I understand that, maybe I haven't been the most helpful so far, but morale boosting is all well and good, but maybe it might be a better idea to, help with the outside injuries. What was it? Back when I was we whippersnapper. I used to be told weak alcohol for the inside wounds, strong alcohol for the outside wounds. Sorry, do carry on. He sort of encroaches in on himself and sort of steps back half a step away from the table, where it's a bit more shadowy, a bit more shady,
Right.
away from the fire.
I like Foxwell.
Yeah.
Well,
then it's settled.
All right
The
then.
good stuff.
The
And
good
I'll
stuff.
motion towards.
Quartermaster Morrison just looks. The command tent, snaps his fingers. Someone comes in. He's like, "What I knew it would be. Go ahead, let him get a little celebration, but keep someone on my tent at all times, both sides, at least 3 guards each end."
I feel like that box is actually sitting outside of the command tent.
Mm.
Just because he's like, yes, I'll do that. But I already knew you probably would, so I brought it. And my tent is completely surrounded by guarding people.
Yeah,
He is a good Batman.
the rookie outside holding that, waiting with the box, just like salutes real quick and bends down, picks it up because it's already there, marches off, and then you soon hear like, "Yeah,
Free booze!
party, like totally." Anyway,
We won!
Let it be known. You may party. But still, anybody who is working too hard, make sure
We'll be
you're...
flogged.
Anybody who's working too hard will work double labor duty.
Ooh.
Detail, I think is the right word to use there, right?
Close,
Labor
yeah.
duty. That's the
Labor
military term.
latrine duty for a month. So we are boosting that action, just to be clear. Marshall,
That's one
I know it's your job because it's a tough job, but you're gonna have to go through and remove all the stress from special.
do.
Specialists, rookies, and
It
soldiers.
is a labor of love.
If you want someone to help you, you may ask. Otherwise, I'm gonna let you do it. Okay.
And we could boost morale, but we're already at max.
Yep.
Yeah, and would we want to do R&R for our other action?
Yeah, definitely.
Might
'Cause
as
that's
well.
a healing tick.
So, a rest and recuperation. Each Legionnaire marks a tick in any harm roll. Once a row's healing ticks are full, erase the ticks and injuries in that row. So, if you wound a mercy, one specialist gains an extra tick. And you do have one mercy that's not wounded right now. Boosted, every Legionnaire gains a second healing tick.
So that would clear off anybody with 1, or if they only had level 2s, they could clear it out.
Well, if they have like a level 2 and a level 1, you'll have to choose which direction you go. But you can at least get the worst one out of the way.
Yeah, drop a level 2 to a 1. Or no, that doesn't do that. This one.
So supply goes from 7 to 6 because you boosted the Liberty action. So you want to at least spend at least one more in order to, because you can't take it with you because the supply cart's going to be full. So I feel like if you're going to do...
I would say rest and recovery to get the most out of that. Because we got some people that are really big up.
Do you want to boost it to make sure... Well, I guess you guys can look through this yourself, and so look in the Marshal can kind of go, hey, like Joster, I think, example, has a level 2 slip disc, right?
We've got quite a few level 2s. Red Growing Shrew was backhanded by Whaler. We got a broken arm with Blue Biting Cone. I think Nucket took a good hit?
Nucket didn't. He never got hit.
Oh.
I think it's Mackett that got smacked. Somebody, one of the 2 brothers did get smacked at some point.
Oh, Mackett's clean.
Yax has a level 1. Adorna has a level 1.
So does Joss. Yeah, Joster slipped this.
Belleg has had a level 2 harm throat punch from Yax forever, so he only has 1 tick, so at least his will go away from this. But that's just a specialist. So do you guys want to use the other extra supply, boost this, so there's at least 2 healing ticks going around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean,
Just
might
to
as
make
well,
sure
yeah.
clean them.
All right, so
Clean them off.
Marshall.
That gets their stress. That basically clears the field.
Marshall, in addition to that,
Yeah.
Okay, he knows. Tom's just like, yeah. I'll see you in 10 minutes when I'm done with all this.
Right. Yeah, Blue Biking and Cones, broken arm.
So that technically is your 2 free actions. Now, at your option, you may spend a point of supply for an additional action. So if you want to do acquire asset, so you've already done Liberty and R&R, so you can't do this again, but you can recruit, and you can recruit up to 5 rookies, or you can boost it to make 2 of them soldiers. You can do a long-term project, which of course the Spy Master can help with, which, by the way, Spy Master, we need to talk about you, not forget you as well. Or you can acquire an asset. So you can acquire an asset, you can recruit, or you can do a long-term project if you want to spend 1 supply.
Well, the asset rating here is 0, so it wouldn't be a good idea to even bother with that,
Plus,
regardless.
you got 2 assets. You got some extra horses that were left behind that were attached to that supply cart. And you got that extra.
It might be an idea. Sorry. Again, sort of, Mr. Quartermaster, sir, man, yes.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Just, yes, sorry. Of course. I can see, you're right there.
Just move myself.
Sort of his mask is sort of cracked slightly, and he looks very much worse for wear. The man is not a combat-centric role. He's very much ruffled up. He looks very disheveled in his sort of normally very finely pressed dark somber colors. Very much like his sort of thing's been torn a bit, and it's being held on by bits of sort of piano wire. It's very much bad. Might I suggest instead of maybe doing something else, maybe we could, I don't know, maybe help with the training of the bandits? Maybe. I mean, obviously, you're the quartermaster. You know exactly what's supposed to happen. And again, takes a step back into the ducks again.
Well,
being very much out of it.
Before I consider that... Oops, what's going on? Oh, that's right. Okay. Before I consider doing that... And now I say this because as the Spy Master, you have your own spy network you can expand. You can give the command... because you have 2 actions. You can give the commander an extra intel question. Or you can do blackmail, whatever, to give the quartermaster an extra die for long-term project, right? Or is it acquire assets?
Right. I'll have a look. Oh, it's just it's done it again. Give me a second. I have to refresh the page.
I was going to go in there too.
For some reason, it hates me. It really does.
Oh, you can just help. Spy bribes or threatens as needed. Add +1 die to a long-term project roll. So
yeah, he just one of his spies just goes to help that guy.
Yeah.
He's like, if I considered using this, I gotta spend more of my supplies to make this happen. But we would like to get those guys trained. He goes, but I could use you. If you want me to help you, you gotta help me. Help me help you. I feel like you help me get these guys trained a little quicker.
I mean, I can certainly try.
Well,
he sort of gives a light chuckle and sort of steps back to the thing. And sure, yes.
Here's the thing. He goes, oh, go ahead, Commander.
No, the out of character, that'd be a good place to send the spy that can actually die, that can take wounds. So
they can't, yeah.
That way they can't take them.
The guy that's good with combat.
Well, you don't have to roll for that, though, right? You just automatically help. Yeah.
He doesn't wound on missions, yeah.
But one of them can and one of them can't. So it's like, well, send the one that can take wounds on the mission that doesn't get him wounds.
You send me.
The other can do stuff.
You and your spies are kind of bandity-like in your own way. We are speaking with bandits. Maybe if I put Bellig, who's finally feeling better, we'll put Bellig in charge of training this time because Yak seems to try to drive them into the ground. Bellig might actually teach him some things will be a little softer, but possibly your spy can be there as an interpreter to take, fighter speak and change it into bandit speak, and maybe they'll learn a little quicker.
Yep.
Basically,
he sort of opens his mouth, like opens and closes his mouth like a fish. I mean, Quartermaster, you've been very nice, but I don't quite like you calling me and my spies bandits. I think you sort of missed the point of our work. I would appreciate it if you don't mind for the future not referring to us in such a way. We are servants all the same.
It was a half joke. I just felt those that can get around in the shadows better, you can give them a few tips in combat. That's all. I'll try not to make jokes at your expense. Yes, you're welcome. So anyways, he's asking for one of your actions to give him an extra die if he's going to spend the supply in this long-term project to give him a better chance. Does everybody agree with that extra supply being spent?
Yeah, it's just the one.
All right. And
might as well.
Plus, the laborers gives you one free tick.
I will do that one free. How many laborers we got? One. He'll put that on there. So
we keep trying to find more, but that's always the part that fails when he rolls.
So that's where you're at with the free laborers tick right now. That, whoops, I think I go way up there for. So that's, you need 3 ticks, which this can happen in this roll, and you give me an extra d6, right?
Yeah.
And I think I have to pick a specialist, so he's gonna pick Bellig.
Pick a specialist, then roll action and mark segments.
So Bellig would probably do what Bellig does and pick skirmish. But maybe that's not the best. Maybe Yax is better. Or Nucket. Let's see. Yax has a 3 in skirmish.
What does Nucket have?
Nucket has a 3 in maneuver. He goes... So at second thought, he's like, you know what? Put Bellig away. He's still recovering. Nucket has shown us a lot of perseverance. And it's not always with fighting. It's with getting around on the battlefield. Maybe that's actually more helpful. So let's have Nucket train with whatever spy you send, and let's have that happen. So
okay.
I'm going to make the roll, unless someone else wants to. So it's maneuver. The position and effect don't matter. With 1 bonus die, so it's actually 4 dice we're rolling.
Not bad.
That's a 6.
It's a 6.
That's 3 ticks, isn't it?
It is
3 ticks.
And through this long road, for the next bit of traveling, these bandits that were once your enemy have become rookies.
So 6 rookies.
Dom, you know, now here's the thing. They all know each other and have trained together, but one is going to have to be split off from his fellows. Actually, they might all be split up. depending on where they're going to go. You can only have 6 squads. You can't have a 7th, as much as I would like to say, let's have a 7th squad. Technically...
So we're actually going to have a surplus.
Okay.
We'll have 2 extras who we don't have a spot for.
Okay. They'll just be hanging out then. I will...
If I may, I mean, obviously, you know, I should be trying with this, but it sort of points at his own very poorly sort of copied, but very clearly been copied from your notes. The sort of taps on it, ghost owls, 4 slots, and tap.
Yeah.
Ember Wolves. Might I just, since they all know each other, you put 3 in the ghost owls, 3 in the Ember Wolves, and yeah. Just my 10 penny. That way you're not splitting them all up.
So the wolves are actually full right now. They're just we've never played them, so I've never named them. So they're full. We have 4 spots in the owls, and that's it. That's all the open space we have. Besides,
right. Okay.
Obviously, a medic and a scout slot.
Right,
wait.
because obviously I was cheating and looking at your actual sheet, but anyway.
Don't you have 1 open in the Silver Stags, 2 in the Ghost Owls, and 1 in the Shattered Lions?
So I moved 2 people out of the Ghost Owls to fill in our open spots.
Oh, where do you want? Do you know? Did I miss?
I already put it. I put it in the Discord. Sorry.
Okay. So Draka is going to Shattered Lions. All right.
My climbing girl goes to the Silver Stags.
Contessa. To the Silver Stags, you said?
Yep.
All right, thank you. Oops. I'll do that. I'm actually going to put them at the bottom of the list to symbolize that they're the last in. So, Ghost Owls, you will have 4 rookies going in there, right?
They're all bandits. They're ex-bandits, at least.
I'm going to name them Bandit 1, 2, and then you'll redo them. And then we'll have a surplus of 2 extra bandits,
Bandito.
which I put a folder at the bottom under Green Ravens called Extra Rookies. I'm going to put the last 2 there. I'll move them in there over the next few minutes. I'll get you all of them. So you guys are at a surplus. Man, you guys are just making out like bandits.
Doing well.
Whoa. It's like it was written for this.
It's like we planned this all along.
So the quartermaster is down to 4 supply. Was there any more? Did you need a mercy to heal anybody else, Dom or Marshall?
Everybody is clean. No stress, no wounds.
Everybody, huh?
Everybody is a clean slate.
We have 1 mercy that's wounded. I'm going to unwound her. So you have 2 mercies that are good to go for next time, since we're not going to be using them. And just so we don't forget. So that's really good there.
We're stacked.
I was going to ask about starting another long-term project, but I'm just going to leave it for you guys since you've taken 3 actions. I'm assuming you want to be done with the actions, but you tell me.
I would be done because we don't want to waste too much supply before we get into the mountains. But
okay,
we used it properly. I think we got everybody back to full, and they recovered, and everybody feels good, and they pack up and let's go.
Alrighty.
Soon. Well, we still got the spies.
So
yes, I was going to say that.
Oh yes, Spy Master. Let's look at you.
He dispatches his spy.
You still have
I have 1 spy.
You got 1 action left, right?
I have 1 action left. I was going to just do the expand network, which even if I roll a 1, I get 1 tick, which is then completes the expand networks thing.
Oh, well, you can still roll.
So,
still roll to see if you get more than that, right? Because then you can put it into the next clock.
yeah. We will roll. So, person who I'm rolling with is a master. If I just click roll, does it just roll the 2 dice?
Yes, it should.
Any bonus dice?
I don't think so. Not for you.
You got every day.
You got to live the hard life. I'm sorry.
That sucks, man.
Got a 5. That's 2 ticks.
5 though. That's 2 ticks. So you get finish it, and then you put 1 more tick into it, and happen it again.
Expand network.
Oh yes, I want to see where you're gonna go. So you start right at the beginning, and you can go. Looks like 4 directions, huh?
I can indeed.
Well,
I was thinking of just doing acquisition, just gain another spy,
Oh.
and then take the guy that helps with the expanding networks. Just train him.
Wow. So that's Bortus?
That Bortus, yeah.
Grizzle Zamyati Bortus is an asset on and off the field. Rumors that if he lives, he'll become the next spy master. When Bortus rolls on the expand network assignments, he generates +1 segment on his rolls. Oh, so he's like a laborer. He always gonna add a tick to that.
Yeah, and so just always put him on, expanding network.
So does that mean you get 3 actions because you get 1 action per spy?
I get 3 actions per spy. Yeah.
I think this is the kind of move you got to do early on like this to be beneficial through the rest of the time. Because if you do it late in the game, there's no point. So
there's no point because you've already got there.
So, all right, and you've expanded.
It's the same thing as Sorry, carry on.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
It's the same thing as then the next thing you would do is do the training. So one of your trained spies become a master spy because the Antoinette starts as a master and Gale is already a master. She can pick one, so you might as well go for the training and make Bortus a master, and then you're free to do everything else. You don't have to go for training again.
And what's that do if they're a master?
Two dice instead of 1.
Oh, that's
2
right.
dice instead of 1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good angle you're going at. You don't have to do the training the training.
And you only have to do it once. You don't have to do it twice.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think you played that well. So you guys are good, and you're packing up, and you are moving on. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
up to the barrack mines, there, Commander.
Side of Legion of Advance. Yes, we will.
Let me draw.
Back it up. Let's get out of here before they return with the others.
Let's mark your path up to the barrack mines. All right. I will do some reading here of what you see, and then we'll be generating some missions and talking a little bit about what you want to do. So you say pack it up, and everybody knows that Shreya's tent has already been packed the next morning, and no one's seen her. Someone said one of the scout or one of the guards is like, I saw, I believe it was her. It was on because she's on her huge horse, right? So she's even huger when she's on her horse. He goes, I saw her riding north this morning before we got our stuff even going. So she took off ahead and has talked to no one. But she knows you guys are leaving, so she gets on ahead of you. So here's a little bit of location, the barrack mines as we move north. Resting at nearly 10,000 paces up the mountains, the humble town of St. Asingra was built to mine ore in the old Empire days. It had remained a small mining outpost until the Cinder King arose and the orite alchemists discovered that it was a source of the black earth, which was needed for black shot transmutation. The mining town boomed once again, until the push of the undead 3 years ago reached it. The same Eastern Kingdom's offensive that ended in the Great Breaking also liberated the town. Now mostly a community of people from the Eastern Kingdoms, they have come to secure a valuable source of black earth for the war efforts. Food and mining supplies have been periodically arriving from the east, though few have been received in a while. And the caravan headed back with the last big shipment of black earth has not been heard from. In the nearby cliffs lie several mountain drilling operations, a dense honeycomb of mines and minerals and industry. Old equipment lies abandoned for lack of people to drive them, while the few mines still open struggle to pull material out of the ground without collapses or worker shortages interrupting. A problem made more difficult by rumors of horrific creatures that still lurk in the mines. The townsfolk here are optimistic of the Legion's arrival. After all, they've heard stories of the Legion, and they are hungry for news from the front. So,
Part's not so good.
we got attacked at camp. No. So the scenes that you see in this little town, right? There's a booming sound of a clock hammer, a large orite drilling machine, breaking mountain walls. The bustling townsfolk quickly hurrying from house to inn while snow pours down. So it's cold. It's snowy. Sometimes it sleets a little bit. The unearthly quiet of the land covered in snow. Warm lights pouring out through old glass. Carts rustling into town carrying loads of minerals, with exhausted workers pushing them by hand. A rousing cheer to the Four Kingdoms in the tavern by loyalists keeping up appearances. But There are still skittering, many-legged creatures that hide in the dark mountain crevices, hostile to human and undead alike. A few military stragglers from the eastern kingdoms, requisitioning troops and equipment sometimes by force. Bitter cold temperatures and harsh snowstorms that make passage difficult. So these are some of the challenges that are here. Special rules. When the Legion first arrives, the Quartermaster gains 3 uses of Blackshot. The last of the supplies still remain in town. They're so glad to see you. They just hand it right over. Acquiring Alchemist and Blackshot are at +2 effect, and acquiring Laborers is at +1, or +1 die. Asset rating here is 1, so it's still not good, but it's better than last. The mission types available are Assault, Recon, and Supply, so everything but Religious, unless the commander's like, give me that. So acquiring Alchemist and Blackshot are +2 effect, so whatever you roll, it's +2 higher, so it's readily available. And acquiring Laborers, you get +1 die to that roll. So not bad for you guys. Not bad. Is your rolling time. I will go, and before I forget, I will go back to the Quartermaster sheet right now. And I'm going
I marked it.
You did?
Yep, I got it. Because it was 3. I was going to say, because I was hoping it was just going to, if it was 2, it would just filled up 1 line, but
You did another line. Got it. Perfect.
I just started a whole new line.
All right. Mike's going to come back and be like, wow, what's going on? I only lost 1 supply.
We filled you up.
I'm rolling in it. So, you guys are in town. This is where we can usually do free play scenes if you guys have any scenes you want to see between other characters. Otherwise, it's about 9:30. We got a little bit of time. We can just go right to generating missions and talking about what we want to do.
We do need to roll pressure and such.
Oh, to see how much time passes? Yes, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1 die roll. This is, of course, the one you want to try to roll the lowest.
This is where I want to do terrible as usual. Ah!
You rolled well.
I rolled 1.
So that's
It's still not summer. Or no, it's still summer.
so
It's not
it's
spring.
It's still spring.
1 tick at a time. It's
Yep,
but
it's
it is
still spring.
snowy, blowy, and cold up here. You have now still 1 tick of spring left when you should have definitely rolled over. The pressure goes away at this point, I think.
Yep.
And spring has 1 tick remaining out of the 10 it starts with. That's very good. Good work. Thank you for reminding us to do that. And is there any
And that
scenes
goes
you want to
back
see?
to the other side of the page.
Do you guys want to generate missions and see what you're looking at, and or then you kind of discover what's going to be our primary or secondary? That probably will take up most of our time here, and then we'll be ready to jump out the gate when we come back. What do you guys think? Or is there any scenes or specific things you want to see in the role-playing aspect? I don't want to cut that out.
Not massively.
Not at the moment. We kind of were just, we kind of role played and combated so much last time. I'm kind of like we did a lot of the good stuff.
Tuckered out.
Well, not that. But it's just like we really hit hard on that one.
That
It's
last
kind of like let's reset and start that whole process over again. I feel like myself.
I'm okay with it.
Let's see.
It gotta be right in here. Where's my
What kind of missions was available here? Assault, recon, and supply.
everything but religious? You got how many intel now?
Got 1.
So you can do
But I
it.
think I'm going to spend it for a special, just because that seems to work out really well for us.
There we go. There are always 3 special missions in each location, which I'm not going to just ruin this time by saying them all.
Intel.
I know which one, though. Yep, it makes.
I want to focus on
Oh yeah, what's
recon.
your focus? Okay.
Focus on recon, but still, I want to spend the point for the.
So you want to? Okay, so you're going to spend
I'm
your.
still going to end up spending it. I mean, it's like the next step after this, after you generate it. So I just want to let you know. I want to focus on recon, but I want to also generate a special mission after that point.
Okay. Now, commander's focus is commander's focus, and then you want to get some more intel back later, plus whatever else you have to get, right?
Yep.
And you want. Okay, so you gonna ready to write some notes down as I start hammering out D6 rolls?
So I can type.
I'll switch this over so people can see it here. So this will first be to generate how many missions there are. So you might have a special mission already. I rolled a 5. 3 missions. 1 has favor. Oh.
Hey.
That means...
Hey.
All right, so we're just going to make that...
3 missions, 1 with favor.
Yep. So 1 has Shreya's favor. And that could be... I'm not sure how you're supposed to actually determine that.
I think you just choose after you roll them and say that one has it.
Because I know the special mission is also going to have her favor, so I'll make sure it's one or the other two, so it's at least spread around.
Okay.
And I know what special mission it's going to be as well, because I thought this is where it was at, and it actually makes sense with, well, actually what you chose earlier, the hard decision you made with Shreya, so it actually works out pretty well. So let's do the 2 regular missions first, all right? So our first one is, let's see, so assault, recon, religious, and supply. So we don't get religious. Mission type for the first one is going to be a 5, which is Commander's Focus. It'll be a recon mission. Good job, Commander. The type of reconnaissance it will be is going to be a 3. That is a troop recon. That is spy on or record troop movements, activities, and numbers. Figure out their movements or strategies. Might be tough here with Blighter on the run. Might be some traveling. It might be a little bit of a distance. We'll find out. The rewards for this mission are going to be an asset and +1 intel.
Oh.
All right.
Intel's come at a premium thus far.
Penalties.
Penalties are going to be, come on, roll it. Just waiting. 2 deaths.
2 deaths.
So it's going to be a dangerous long mission through the cold mountains with nasty creatures to spy on, most likely undead. I mean, besides the creatures and the weather and the undead, with all those things put together, easily 2 deaths could happen, right? Just even on accident, nothing on even purpose. So that is your first mission. The Marshal will come up with mission names for these if he still wishes to do so.
Absolutely.
Second mission.
The next one?
Yep, second mission is going to be, the type will be a 2. It will be a recon mission. Look at that.
All right.
The type of recon mission is going to be as a troop recon. I'm going to actually change that. I'm going to make the call to make it something different. It's going to be area recon. Area recon, of course, is going to be investigate an area for a resource, group, or person. You might have heard of an undead moving through an area. You might want to make sure the Legion isn't passing by infested wood. You might want to look for resources. All right, so the rewards for this, are going to be +2 intel. Yep, that's a good one. And the penalties for such. Did I just roll another one? Is that a 1 I just rolled again? Yeah, 3 ones in a row, didn't I? Oh. I froze up, didn't I? Here I come. Coming back.
There's 3 seconds.
Come back. I rolled another 1, didn't I? So the penalty is going to be, it says, and this is a typo, it says -1 time, but it's actually +1 time.
+1 time?
Yep, it's going to take a while.
Yeah. So it takes time to get our people back, so we get stuck here longer.
Yep.
Yeah. What you're rolling is 1d6 / and I think that just rolls 1.
Well,
Yeah, it just rolls 1.
Well, how did I change that? It was been doing this, you know what?
For the past 2 rolls you've done, 1d6 /
It did.
but all the others were fine. It was just the last 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you /R.
I don't know why I did it, because I kept hitting the up
26.
arrow, which recopies your roll. I must have put an extra slash in there. Do you want me to re-roll the rewards and penalties, or are you happy with those?
Re-roll them since they were just repeats of themselves.
Okay.
It's
So,
very random.
all right. So the
random.
reward instead is going to be a 5, which is +1 intel, -1 time. So the penalty will be +1 pressure. So you can save
Pressure.
time by scouting out this area, however that works out, and you're going to get some intel from it. But the penalty for
like it.
failing is you're going to have the undead's going to catch back up with you and put the pressure
Now,
on.
if we can somehow get to the end of the game in spring, that'd be the best run ever.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here. All right. And
Turn back time.
I will. Okay, so, and then let's see. We're going to roll a D2 to determine which mission the favor is in. Oops.
Okay.
So,
Well, didn't we have 3 missions plus the special?
but you have favor with the special. No, 3 missions, 1 has favor, but you still can only have a max of 3 missions. So that.
Oh, okay. So since I picked a special, it takes away.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I just don't roll another one up. We give you the special as that third one.
Okay. Okay.
And that one has favor already. So one of these first 2 will also have the same favor, which is mercy.
Favor.
So I'm gonna roll D2. Mission number 1 has also part of the reward is going to now be favor mercy.
So 1 asset, 1 intel, and +1
favor.
favor.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough to pick between the special and that because that penalty with 2 deaths. Oh man, you guys got
As a failure, that's pretty rough.
All right.
But the other parts of it are amazing.
Are you ready for the special?
See?
I'm gonna copy paste after I read it. I'm gonna copy paste it
Special
into
mission.
the Discord.
I mean,
This is the third
I'll go to
mission,
that page.
right?
You just tell me which one you pick, and then I'll actually read the page.
Okay.
But please read it out for the audience.
All right. So this is the mission type
People at home.
This is the mission type is religious, even though it's not normally here. But spending that gets you. The
So
favor is
religious.
mercy, knowledge, and glory. So you got mercy covered. If you can do both of these, you will level Shreya up here. Almost 300 years ago, Asingra, a chosen of the living God, was entombed. She fought alongside Zora, one of the other current chosens here. She fought alongside Zora against the last emperor, but was horrifically wounded. Details of her death vary from being entombed alive to committing suicide. Regardless, her resting place is worth examining. And we're actually going to change it up a little bit for the story with Shreya. So, you might not want to read this page, Dan. You might want to let me just copy paste you the information so you don't see stuff.
Okay, because you're changing it slightly?
Well,
okay.
Also because there's some GM notes.
Ah, okay. Well, then I won't.
But mission rewards +1 supply. The living god's blessing. Specialists and soldiers on this mission gain an advance when Asingra is laid to rest. That's an automatic level up. Penalties are none. But there actually is going to be a penalty. Because I'm going to add something.
Oh no.
Well, it has to do with Shreya. So let me just post this. Just so it's in there for you to easily find. Alright, so you guys have gotten all your intel. The Spy Master spies have brought this stuff in. Dropped off all the things. You've gathered everything so you can start looking at the information. And Shreya walks into your command tent. So you got the Lord Keeper, the Commander, the Quartermaster, the Marshal, and the Spy Master. You know, you haven't seen Shreya in a few weeks. It took a week or 2 to get up here into the mountains. It's very cold. There's fires lit everywhere. Everyone's wearing the heavy furs now. Which brings up to another point that you guys will probably have to supply when you pick supplies to go on your missions. You're probably going to have to dress for the weather or bad things could happen. Everybody's dressed up in furs now, right? Everybody's cutting open.
The fanciest of furs. I have a large collar. I am quite the dandy.
Right the fop.
What is the creature that Luke Skywalker has to, dang it, cut open his
Tauntaun?
Tauntaun, yeah. Everybody's sleeping inside Tauntauns. You know, it's so cold. Where did these things come from? Anyway, sorry.
That's blankets. So warm.
So you guys are having your meeting, and you haven't seen Shreya in a long time, and suddenly you just kind of feel the feeling that you normally get, that kind of like encouraged, enraged feeling, right? Well, that feeling comes, but it's laced with kind of a sort of sickly, like, Commander, you feel a little nauseous as she walks into the tent. Marshall, you feel like an immediate, like your body begins to itch, like you got hives in several spots, right? Like it just like, ooh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Spy Master, your nose begins to bleed. And the Quartermaster just kind of sits there and just like grabs his head like he has like he's got pain, you know. And Lord Keeper, Lord Keeper Color, she's just like rubbing her eyes like, I can't see, you know, quietly to herself. Shreya walks in, and She's got that dagger she was stabbed with. People have been making rumors about it. It's fastened in a chain around her neck. She's kept as a keepsake. She doesn't have her polearm with her. She comes in, she's heavily dressed in furs, and she's like, Commander.
He stands and does the... Chosen. It's good to see you up and about.
So your intel basically dug around for some stuff, and you heard of the tomb, right? And after it got around a little bit, Shreya's coming in. She's like, I have an important request.
Please, make it.
It's your decision, but I implore you. And she never implores. She's like, I implore you to make Ashringa's tomb a priority.
He looks at the map. Are you implying that you're going?
No.
Good. Then we may have it done.
She's like,
me and the marshal will ensure our best people are on it.
That's catty.
I would love to, but I am not in the shape.
That's the only reason I would have protested, madam.
I assure you, the Legion has never been stronger.
Well said.
Where's the toe?
It seems kind of interesting that as the Legion's at its strongest it's been in months, I am at my weakest. And she like, she because she had gloves on, right? And she takes the glove off the hand she was stabbed in, and it's pure black.
Yeah.
She's like, I was poisoned, as you probably have guessed. But it's not your standard poison. It's as near as I can figure. It's a poisoning of the soul.
The Cinder King has foul magics that he corrupts everything. It's seen it in all of the troops that have been touched by his troops as well. I don't know the hysteric arts myself, but from the reports I've seen that most that aren't overcome instantly do recover somewhat in time. So I would humbly ask you to just let us handle it. And when you feel up to it, just let us know, and we will assist you in whatever you need to do.
This is assisting. Now,
he smiles, he nods his head. He's like, you got us this far. Let us carry you for a time.
you only have a little bit of time left. She looks and she quiets her tone. She's like, I'm dying.
No, it's...
However, this is why I prioritize this mission. Astringa is a chosen. She pulls out, she looks at, like the quartermaster. She's like, you have reliquaries. And as you know, they are small, mummified bits of chosen of the previous years, centuries even. Sometimes a finger, sometimes a knuckle bone, an eye. This is a full chosen. I need her heart. No matter her state, alive, dead, mummified, a corpse, there should be part of her intact. I need the heart. Bring it here. I should be able to do something to fix this. She pulls her big fur coat, back.
Like veins and stuff.
Yeah, they're black up the right side. They're like reaching up towards her, like into her face almost. Not quite showing yet. She goes, I don't have much longer.
You have sacrificed much to try to push back the darkness. As I said, let us hold the torch for a moment. He'll look to the marshal with his hand. He'll point to, he'll do the grand gesture motion. The marshal has his best troops ready. Some that you've trained personally, I've heard. And some that have been with us for a long time.
In the game of chess, sometimes you must move. Sometimes the queen must forego her move in order for her pawn to gain better positioning. And so too shall we. We, well, because of your sacrifice, are standing in a favorable position. We will bring you the heart. I know just who to make sure will do that. Your fate is in good hands, just as ours was with yours.
She does her nod. She goes, I just need the heart. But if you can secure any more of the chosen, I don't want it to be, it's hard because honorifically you should be buried and entombed with honor. But in these days, the remains of chosen can be used to fight back corruption. Anything.
I originally asked for the mission to be because once I heard of the tomb, I didn't want her body to be reterred as a demon.
Well, that makes another good point. I'll admit.
Unturned.
Wasn't my
Uninterred.
what I was originally thinking. Either way, to gain more from this would be the way Asuringa would want it. As far as I've heard from Zora. Now, see, like most chosen, like they live a few years, and after they're human, right? They get chosen by the god, and if they say yes, they become chosen, right? They live until their purpose is fulfilled, which is a certain thing, or they live until they burn out, right? So that's usually a few years, maybe a decade. Zora's been alive for a few centuries. She's like the oldest living chosen, and no one knows why. But all these other chosen, like the Horned One and Shreya, have only been there a few years, right? Since the war started. So when she says that means Zora probably knew Asuringa personally. Yet this tomb, it's been over 300 years now, right? So she goes, thank you. I'm going to see my appearance or my presence is causing people angst or pain. And she's looking at everybody. She's like, yep. She goes, I'm going to stay outside of camp from this point forward. Hail me when you've returned.
Hail!
Yax is out there.
Hail, son of Rome.
But
Totally. Okay.
Rashi will leave her with a few words.
Sure.
Shreya, I know. In a position like yours, you're not used to leaning on others for help. You can count on us.
She just nods again. Seems appreciative. Seems to breathe a sigh of relief, which you don't ever see that type of weakness from her. And she walks out without another word.
Commander immediately slaps his hand on the table the moment it flaps shut. Not a word of her to the men.
Of who?
Exactly.
Rashi's like puking behind a pillar.
Yeah, not a word.
It takes a minute or two before the bad things that you were feeling to go away, but they do recede. So there you go.
Chosen terrify me. They are very, as they say, spooky.
That, I'm afraid, is by design. When gods get involved with mortal affairs directly, it's messy. The Cinder King is some form of evil god that has decided to put his thumb on our world and has screwed everything up. But if we can get ourselves and Shreya across the finish line, as it were, perhaps the darkness will be knocked back for a season.
Seems like a very big if.
Life is nothing but a series of ifs, son.
You speak too much. There's no ifs here. The way I see it, good has always defeated evil. And it shall again. The hardest job is to do everything we can to make sure that rings true. We wouldn't be here if evil had ever won, would we?
No idea where we'd be. We'd probably all have died in the next battle. But until the next battle that claims one of us, let's keep pushing forward. Marshal, get your men ready. Sorry, Master. I don't know what it is you do on a daily basis, but keep doing it because it seems to be working.
And that, I've been told, Commander, is as by design.
That's the point. That's the point, sir.
Quartermaster, I don't suppose you have any fabric. It would appear that my mask is very broken. I haven't approached you yet, given that you might perceive me as trying to steal things, being a bandit. And sort of he goes really shy to very, very serious, sort of stares me in the eye, a bandit. And I wouldn't wish to, bequeath you of such things.
What were you asking
Please?
for? What were you asking for? Some string or something?
Like fabric to fix a mask.
Yes. I got a spool. Just see me after the meeting.
That's going to be a big running theme. The player's going to come back and have no idea why they keep saying you called me a bandit.
Yeah, Mike's like, I have no idea. What are you doing?
No,
What'd
I
you
do that.
It's like, Mike, I'm sorry you weren't here. Whatever.
That's a
You
mean thing to
offended the
say,
spy
Mike.
master.
Mhm.
Rude, Mike.
+1 favor.
No, he's slick enough. He'll just be like, well, he deserved it.
He probably deserved it. He's a spy.
He's dirty spy.
Spies are not trustworthy, no matter how shy they may be.
I think
So you get the one recon mission is 1 asset, 1 intel, 1 favor mercy, and the special is 1 supply, an advance for everybody that's in the mission.
soldiers and specs.
Soldiers and specialists, and also favor mercy.
So I think that would be the one where we'd want to send soldiers, the most soldiers on, because they could get a free upgrade if they make it through it.
Also, yeah, you got recon. It's a special mission. This is religious. You have to make sure you fit those requirements, of course. And then you have 2 recons, but you also have 3 fully healed heavies.
Yep.
So
And one of them is ultra religious. So
Nugget.
One of them is very religious. Yes.
Yeah, Nugget might be like
2 of them actually now. But
yeah.
Nugget added in there. Forgot Nugget was also ultra religious.
That's what I was talking about. Who are you talking about? Yax?
No,
Beleg.
Beleg. The guy that we got from our religious mission.
No, that was Yax. Beleg was Jodo's character.
Right.
That's right, because Yax was in the circle.
Mm-hmm. That's what
So we get
let the shades out that have been plaguing you guys. Which a shade of Beleg is still out there, and a shade of, I think your character, Dan, was it Contessa?
it was
Whoever
the girl
used.
with the wolf head axe.
Okay, we'll
It
find her
wasn't
again.
Contessa.
She's in there.
Yeah.
All
He's a
right.
rook still.
So now, I need to know. So where they walk is that first recon mission, right?
Where they
The
want.
second recon mission is the Mountain Dark. The Mountain Dark, right? Yep. And then
What is that?
And then the special religious is the Humble Sacrifice, according to Dom's
Humble
notes.
Sacrifice.
So there will be one
Which
primary.
recon? Which recon was which?
First recon was where they walk. I'm going in order what Dom put down, I assume, right?
I just can't see it
was
'cause I'm in
the
the-
troop.
Troop one was where they walk. Okay.
Yeah.
And the
where they
area
walk.
was
the Mountain Dark.
from Mountain Dark or from out of the dark.
The
I
mountain.
actually like that from Mountain Dark. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
So
All right, we'll decide this so I can plan for next time, and then we'll probably call it a night. So,
I want to make Humble Sacrifice primary because
Mhm.
I think that one would be the most fun to roleplay with because it has, as you screechingly halted me reading the possible GM notes, that means fun with a capital FUN. And I think I want to do where they walk as a secondary, because the +1 pressure doesn't really scare me as much right now, because I'm only going to have 2 pressure.
Yeah.
If we move forward.
We're trying to get there by spring, right?
Well, the more pressure means more dice in a roll, but I mean, it's still like we've managed to make 1, 2, 3, 4 in the time that it should have taken us halfway into summer to get. So I'm feeling saucy on the pressure, so I'm just gonna let that one slide.
Yeah,
because that's the easiest and the weakest of the penalties of the bunch. I mean, where they walk still might kill people because of, the mission could fail or whatever. Some random stuff does happen occasionally, but it feels like that's the one to do, because the asset is a long-term help, and the +1 intel means I can ask for another special mission next spot down the road.
If you have 2 deaths, you also have a surplus of 2 rookie bandits. So it actually all kind of comes out.
It all balances out.
It all comes around.
And all the rookies have been created and put in so they can be created.
They've already been named, and I gave them their their race and those attributes, but
cultural.
Yeah, the cultures, but I haven't pipped any of them.
Sweet.
So that fills out the ghost owls, who are the ones that they're sneaky.
I tried to give them all bandit names.
Caldwell the Knuckles. I love it.
The Knuckles.
Barrett the Smile. Jackson. Phantom. I love
You could for this very important, very much sort of let's not fail it. Send the Ember Wolves on it. Just send all the bandit rookies.
They're in the owls. They're the ghost owls. Oh, you mean the Ember?
The
The bandit rookies are in the ghost owls. The Ember Wolves are just like they're the extras you've seen around camp. Like nobody's named.
They're they are the reserves.
They're soldier number. They're rookie number 1 through 5. They're literally that's their actual names on the end of the episode trailer.
I feel like story-wise, they have been chomping at the bit to get on a mission, and they have not been able to go yet on any missions.
All the other squads are like giving them shit because they're the.
I feel like their trouble may actually start if the ghost owls are selected to go on a mission with those brand new bandit rookies before they are. I think that would be legitimate.
I should have done something with the free RP of essentially enlisting the. Oh right. I wait until we finish all this, but I would like to do some free RP as the doodad, as the spy master.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's decide. So we got primary and secondary. If we can decide the specialist and the squad to go with, then I will be content with that, just so I can run my numbers and all that. And then we can do
primary or both.
Oh, if we can do both, as I think you're supposed to decide ahead of time.
Assign a squad and up to 2 specialists to each mission.
And so the humble sacrifice is a religious mission, so I believe you have to have. I think it's a medic. I don't remember.
Medic or officer.
Medic or officer. Well,
it's at the bottom of the.
Yeah, it looks like Joster's heading right back out. He saw the chiropractor and right back out he goes.
And his back cracked.
Officer and then you can obviously have a second. Well, you can have a medic.
Yeah, let's send a heavy for good measure. We got plenty of them.
Okay, so hold on. Let me write this down. Primary, sending.
Joster.
Joster.
Officer Joster.
And,
put me in, mate. Put me in.
Okay,
I want to meet you.
We'll do Nugget.
Heavy Nugget.
And Nugget.
Well, we know who.
Specialist.
I love it if you assign Nugget to like Dan next time. Just watch you sort of like,
no, man, don't do this to me. Do it.
If Nugget's going, even if it's going to stir the pot a little bit, he's got to go with his new recruits, the Ghost Owls, his bandits.
Specialist with the Ghost Owls. All right.
Come on, lads.
I'm definitely playing the Ghost Owl.
He's gonna crump him.
It's not happening. I can't do anything but play Ghost Owl now. That's just funny.
You gotta play a bandit, don't you? So
yep, I gotta be like.
The only one that's
I don't know. I didn't even want to sign up for this.
So it's just the number 1 guy, Kavaya Ariani is the only one that's not a bandit, right?
Yep.
Okay, secondary squad?
Yeah, Ariani.
Do I hear promotion to the one non-bandit? Promotion to the
Probably.
corporal?
Yeah.
Well, it's specialists and soldiers. So if he's a soldier, he would get a
Remember,
advance,
if we succeed, everybody gets an advancement.
Not
specs and soldiers.
Well, no,
rookies don't.
no, what?
Rookies
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
That's the only reason to be like, maybe you should send a squad that has more soldiers in it. But that's just mechanically.
That's just for thematics.
Yeah. So if you want to do it more for the fun, you
We
think
wanted
it's
to min-max, but there's no squad with more than like 1 or 2 soldiers anyway.
Yeah,
That's
most of
fine.
our soldiers are almost.
don't matter to me. So
All right, so secondary squad is going on a recon, which is scout or sniper.
Okay, and we only have the sniper, so Adorna.
And we have one more guy that can go with her.
And I think we send Adorna alone, because I don't know, do we get an actual bonus out of sending an extra
surviving,
specialist?
they'll get 2 XP if the mission is a success.
Yep.
Which did you ever mark the XP for her from the last mission?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
So she's going by herself?
Yeah, send her by yourself.
you still want her to go by
well,
herself? Okay.
She'll go
It's
with
lone.
we can get the Ember Wolves in some off-screen action to appease them.
And with the
I
Ember,
think when the announcements are coming on the board from the marshal, before you can even quiet them down, you say who the primary mission is, and the bandits are like, yeah, and they're just like in your face and biting their thumb at the Ember Wolves. The Ember Wolves are just they start to come forward like they're going to brawl. They're actually going to get seriously heated. And then the marshal posts the second mission.
I like that my
Are you-
brain is given this image of like, there's the Ember Wolves who are still rookies, but they're immaculately dressed. They're in their uniforms. They look
They're like very
100%
well
Legion.
drilled.
But the
Yes.
Ghost Owls bandits guys have got the uniform on, but their bandit crap, like their little pieces of armor that you used to think was useful, is stuck on top of that. So they still look
Okay.
semi ragtag on
Yeah.
purpose.
I was going to do something with the Ember Wolves as the spy master. But if you could put them on a mission, then that sort of nullifies what I was going to do, and that's fine.
If you want them, like take them. You can.
I was
babysit 'em
going
if
to
you want.
essentially rock up to them and say, "Hey guys, you're very well dressed." And anyway, but if you want to do it, then do it. Obviously, you're the marshal. Do whatever you want. But
You
I
can
did have a plan for them.
You still can mess with them before the mission is posted.
Yeah, because they won't leave until
All right.
after this.
I don't want to take away that sweet RP and at least get them on. And that might be what gets them riled up. So when the missions are posted, they're like ready to beat the crap out of the Ghost Owls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's
And that would be, once that RP, that'd be a good place to stop, because that's the next step is literally
mission.
go on the first mission.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're going to set up a scene, you can pick someone else to play another character if you want, or you can just do it yourself.
I mean, I was planning on just sort of going up to them myself,
Okay. Okay.
unless somebody wants to play, like the head rookie guy, sort of respond.
You want to do the Ember or the Ghost Owls?
This is the Ember Wolves, like the people who haven't been on a mission.
These guys haven't. None of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
King James London.
King James. Okay. Well, that's either I feel like Dom or Dan. I don't. I'm good.
Yeah. I'll play him.
We'll do
Okay.
Dom. We'll do Dom.
Okay. Okay. Let's see it.
So our good friend Foxwell is going to sort of rock up. He's again not dressed beautifully because he's not very nobly sort of bearing himself. Sorry to interrupt you, lads, but you are, and this sort of checks his notes. You are the Ember Wolves, yes?
Yes, that would be us.
Yes, I must say I've heard great martial prowess from you.
Don't
lads.
you patronize us.
No, okay. Right.
We all know
Let's
you
try.
laugh at us behind our backs.
I don't. In fact, I come bearing a request. So you are obviously very.
I am
well-dressed,
not
very
cleaning the
well-dressed.
latrines again.
I would never say such a thing. So obviously, I'm maybe not the most well-known figure in the camp, but I'm still marginally well-known. And you know how men can be when they have to stay long periods of time, watching their friends die and they're unable to help. And if I may be so bold, given that you spend a lot of time around the camp and are obviously, very much known around said camp, might I convince you to maybe give me a hand in my requisitional business? Maybe, just sort of letting me know the goings on around the camp. Maybe, I mean, there's lots of you, and you obviously work very well together.
He'll just stare at you for a few moments, and he'll finally just throw his hands up. Of course, we would love to just help you out. We spend enough time around camp as it is already, don't we? What better people to get you the scoop on what's going on than the men who are not physically allowed to leave this camp, apparently?
Yes, but I would say that makes you even more valuable because, right, you lads all know each other. You work very well together, very clearly, right? You've drilled, and look, right, every other is sort of like draws in closer. Every other, from what I've seen, and I mean, obviously I'm not best. Every other, squad, very rugged, very sort of broken up. But you, look at you, sort of impeccable dress, right? You are the sort of people that, a command staff might want for their honor guard, perhaps. If anything, I'd say you not going on a mission, it's a boon, because, despite not having any combat experience, clearly, when we were attacked, you're all still here. Other squads lost men, but here you are, still alive. So maybe, and again, I'm not the marshal here, but what I've been hearing is, these Ember Wolves, very reliable, very good. Because, I mean, you haven't kicked up a kerfuffle yet, have you? You've been very, very loyal. So, from what I gathered, you've been kept back to serve as a rear guard, serve as an honor guard. Maybe you haven't got any good missions yet, but I'm sure at some point they're going to give you a very powerful, very good mission for those who have very clearly shown that they are more competent, that they don't want anyone to die from. Just my humble opinion, and that if you could help me, make sure that nothing bad is happening, because corruption is everywhere. I'm sure you'd agree, Mr. What did you say your name was again?
James. King James Lawton.
King James Lawton.
And
it's a pleasure.
I don't know what you're on about, but our uniforms are clean, aren't they?
They are very clean. I would even say they're impeccable. Parade standard. Uniforms.
Now that I think about it, he'll turn towards the rest of the lions, or the Ember Lion, or
the wolves.
The Ember Wolves. The command staff doesn't leave camp either, do they?
No. No, we stay in camp. So surely you're going to be lumped in with us.
So what you're saying is we're being groomed. We're too valuable to send on a mission.
You're too valuable to send on a mission. And so don't be angry you're not being sent on a mission. Other people may mock you, but they don't know
You're right.
how important you actually are. And that if you ever did get sent on a mission, that mission is of such importance that they could not think of anyone else to send. So they sent you.
You're right.
And the fact that you haven't been sent out yet means that there's been no other missions that have been that important that requires your,
level of expertise.
Your level of expertise. laying it on thick. So that's why I thought I'd come to you, Mr. Lodden. Mr. King Lodden.
Soldiers as elite as us, we need not even check the job board.
No.
Of course, we won't be posted to a mission. We're far too valuable. Isn't that right?
Far too valuable.
Right. I'd never thought of it that way. Kind of cocky. What did you say your name was?
I've forgotten my name. 1 second, I have to go and check. Fascius Foxwell. Yes, Fascius Foxwell.
You do what?
Offers in my hand.
You do what well?
Fascist.
Oh.
Very good. See, I knew I liked you. I knew I liked you. See, that's another reason why we should keep you around. Because you're so witty. And he claps him on the shoulder.
My wit is only second to my might. I assure you.
I'm sure. So, what do you say, Mr. King Loddon? Why don't you help me out as part of the command squad, the honor guard? Yeah, help me get the inside scoop on the goings on around camp, because corruption everywhere, and clearly you are without corruption. Maybe.
Well, if you want the inside scoop,
I'd love the inside
fade
scoop.
to black. I don't actually
My
have
shoulder.
a scoop to give him.
No. They're so underplayed that they don't know anything, but
That's
laying it on thick.
that was great.
Single tier.
So instead, when the Ghost Owls are picked, they're like, all right. And then when the Ember Wolves are picked for the secondary
Immediately
mission,
picked.
what's their reaction, do you think, Dom?
They wouldn't even check. I think they'd hear secondhand because they're too elite.
Literally, Adorna has to go find them.
Adorna walks in.
So it's
hall.
like a couple hours, in the mess hall, before the mission would leave, and none of them are prepared at all.
Talking about how great they are, and we're gonna be command staff one day ourselves, apparently. Yeah. Woo!
Some of them are on their third glass of ale for the night, and they're I can't wait.
I don't have to be sober in the morning. I'm going on a mission. We're too elite for that.
Yeah.
Loddon, the Ember Wolves are up for a mission. They're up for the secondary mission. Oh, shit.
So, all is well and good.
Oh.
Now, I will point out it's kind of funny, but these are all new members of both squads, practically.
Yep.
The Ember Wolves are usually the vanguard, so they're the ones that want to go in first and fight. But they're going on the Recon Mission. The Ghost Owls are the ones that are the sneaky, prowly kind, and yet they're going into a tomb with a chosen. Maybe, but possibly.
They're tomb raiding.
Poss-
That's
Might be
perfect for
an idea to swap
bandits.
them over.
They're tomb
Might be
raiding.
an idea to swap it.
But anyway.
It's not my call.
There's a little bit of talk about that, but then the Star Vipers, you will hear some complaints because the Star Vipers are used to the weird missions, and they felt that they should probably go on the humble sacrifice. So there's always going to be troops that are not happy with the decisions of the command staff, but I like the choices. I think it's going to be fun for next time. But yeah, Blue Biting Cone is part of the Star Vipers, isn't he? Oh yeah. Well, that was a good role play. That was a good session. I would like to setting everything up and doing all the campaign stuff, and I think that's where we call it. As next time we will jump right into the humble sacrifice, the primary mission, to see what lies inside this tomb with the Tomb Raiders and their couple of
Imagine
specialists.
it's evil and dangerous and fun with the capital FNUNN.
It's a walk in the park. Don't worry. Always is, right? No problem.
Blue Milk Run, especially if Joster's involved.
Joster. Do we know anything about his trauma yet, or are we going to save that for next time?
I think we'll save it for next time.
Okay.
Yeah, right. What? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think
He's not. He doesn't exist right now. We're in that fugue state of existence where the command staffs. We're out of the command staff back to our staring down, going, he's right. When we get involved, we screw everything up. My avatar is right on.
All right. Well,
Wish they knew that we did this way low key.
Hold on.
that ends it for the night, guys. Thank you for being here. It was a good time, and we'll give it a go here next time. Check back in a couple weeks, or we'll see, because it'll be close to Christmas. So just check the Discord if you're wondering when it's gonna be on next. We're every 2 weeks here, so we trade off with Dungeons and Dragons, the Yarn and Portal campaign, every Thursday back and forth. So I'll let Dom talk about the other games, and I'll actually just jump to him right now as we do our shoutros, and then we'll work at getting out of here. Sir?
Yo, what up, party people? My name is Dom. I am one of the hobos here at Lucas G Varieties Twitch channel. You can catch me these Thursdays with Band of Blades, Sundays when I run the Song of the Bone Kings, which is a chasing adventure. We're wrapping up that campaign, and we've got tons in store for further down the road. And then also the next 2 Tuesdays, you can catch me with Lucas himself as I get to take over that GM chair and run for him and his friend Nathan. It's a ton of fun. If you're into like Christmas stories, well, this is all about Christmas. The adventure is titled, I really knocked this one out of the park. It's called Operation Cookie Jar, the Red Samsara. It's shaping up to be a great one. Check it out. Otherwise, I'll pass it on down to my green friend below me, User.
I don't know why it turns green. I cannot explain to you why it always flashes green. Could not be explained. Much of the lighting, I don't have anything to do shout outs for. It's still green. So, anyway, just don't know who would be next. Probably Soundwave's Ghost if they're Enclave helmet.
Go ahead, sir.
Actually, it's a Nuka-Cola helmet, but that happens to be a prop that I picked up from my wife, and I'm going to use it for an important character in the future. If things don't fall down and break it.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, that's it's a fallen. As it wants to do. Anyway, I have nothing else going on right now. It's literally this is all that's left until after the holidays. I am still actively working on a Fallout world, hence why I've pulled out from the original box my Nuka-Cola themed, the colors. It's not very obvious it's Nuka-Cola, but it's the colors. And my original prop that I was going to pull out. Wearable Pip-Boy.
Oh, that looks nice.
The only thing I don't have is a phone that fits this right here, so it could actually do the menus and stuff.
Oh,
but
man.
if you have that, you could hit app that you could control your Fallout 4 Pip-Boy via the one on your actual arm, which was weird, but it was fun. But I've never had the app.
Dom, you're muted if you're talking to us.
That's just like so extra. I love it. Like, don't get me wrong, but wow, is that extra?
It was got because I've loved Fallout for so long, but it works out in this case. That's actively being worked on still, and I am at the stage of world building where I have the general area. I have the big players, kind of like my latest big player literally is related to the helmet, because I had a flash in the middle of the day saying, why bring in the Brotherhood of Steel? Everybody does the Brotherhood of Steel. Why not make somebody related to Nuka-Cola?
Yeah, looks good so far.
I have the Nuka Knights. The Holy Order of the Nuka-Cola Knights. Or the Knights.
Before or after the bandits took over?
This one they are separate from that because the bandits did take over a certain area in the Fallout section I'm creating. But it'll all come out.
It'll come out. It'll work out. I'll be fine.
Yep. I do have a World Anvil working on it. So once that gets a little farther ahead, I'll start sharing that out. Lucas has seen it. Anybody in the directors group can get to see it because it's literally shared in the Discord. But we're not started on recruiting for that yet. But that will probably be one of the first parts for me of January. And in between that, as Lucas might be forgotten to mention, we're going to start doing some random stuff on Tuesdays to replace some of the stuff that's on hold right now, like where Fallout would be once it's ready. We're working on a couple games there. The GMs are getting spun up on that. But if you want to try for a slot, you can pop into the Discord and see if there's anything left. And always, of course, talk to the boss man. It's the Lucas G variety. And he'll let you know what's available. So, as always, thanks for letting me play, Lucas. And everyone else, thanks for playing with us. And that's it from me. Have a good night. Happy holidays if I don't see you till after that.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks to the audience members. Appreciate it. Follow, like, and subscribe. And that Tuesday nights where Dom is jamming for us, that is our Gaming Gallimaufry. We're going to do lots of short runs, small games, back and forth with different GMs, different players, different things here and there, who's and what's it. And then we'll come back. We got to finish up some Robotech in the spring next year. And we have other things on the line, like, of course, Fallout. Can't wait. and a few other things on the list. So that's all for now. We're going to see you guys later. Have a good night. God bless. Good gaming. We'll see you on Sunday. Peace.